Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies DLC 4 video. Today, I want to talk about all of the possibilities for the final map that is going to be releasing with Season 6, which is currently scheduled to release on October the 6th / October the 7th, depending on which time zone you are in. And something very interesting to note is that the Vanguard Zombies reveal is going to be happening closer to Halloween. And there is going to be another Haunting of Verdansk event inside of Warzone, and I'm wondering if that could tie into the Vanguard Zombies reveal. So it seems like we're going to be getting the Vanguard Zombies reveal sometime soon after the DLC 4 map releases in Season 6, and I think the most likely reason for this is because Vanguard Zombies is a prequel to the Dark Aether storyline to do with all of the Project Endstation stuff during World War II, and I'm guessing somehow the ending to the Cold War Zombies storyline is going to throw us back into the direction of Vanguard Zombies, and Trek probably just don't want DLC 4 to spoil stuff for Vanguard Zombies and Vanguard Zombies to spoil stuff for DLC 4 and vice versa, and that is why DLC 4 is going to be releasing first before Vanguard Zombies gets revealed to us. But we may see some Vanguard Zombies teasers in the meantime. I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of new intel released to the game, but in this video I want to go over all of the possibilities for the DLC 4 Zombies map, which is going to be the final Zombies map. I know there's been lots of rumors of us seeing potentially more maps in 2022 or a Zombies Chronicles 2 with the Victus maps Transit, Diaries and Buried, but now that Trek are working on Vanguard Zombies, I think that probably puts the nail in the coffin for us seeing more Zombies maps in 2022 for Cold War. We might see little updates, maybe some more maps for Outbreak, but I don't think we're going to see any big updates. So in this video I want to go over all of the potential locations that we might be seeing for the DLC 4 Zombies map, but first of all I have an awesome service to let you guys be aware of, because this video has been kindly sponsored by 1v1me. It's an app that's currently just available on iOS devices that allows you to play Call of Duty against other people for money. Yes, that is right. It's super easy to start and totally free to play. Just start a challenge, set your rules and the wager amount, and wait for someone to accept. The app does require you to stream on Twitch in order to play, so that it's able to verify the authenticity of the game so that you will be safe from cheaters. Despite the app being called 1v1me, they have just launched with team play and free-for-all modes, so if you've got a squad you would like to play with, they can get in on the action too. Unfortunately, you do have to be 18 years or older in order to play for money, but anyone can play $0 wagers and start to build their reputation on the app. I guess it's good for practice, for some friendly competition, until you may be able to compete for money sometime down the line. Currently the app is only available in the US, but hopefully should be available in other regions soon. If you are lucky enough to be one of the first 1,000 people to download the app from my exclusive link in this video's description, 1v1.me/TGR, you will get $1 for free to play with. So bringing it back to the topic of DLC 4 for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. As you guys know, before Black Ops Cold War Zombies was even revealed, there was a guy in the official Call of Duty Discord that leaked all of the future maps, such as Firebase C in Vietnam, the fact that we would be heading to Berlin in a future map that we saw with Kino Der Toten, and he also said that there would be a map codenamed Giants. And at that current point in time, people I think misinterpreted this to think that it was going to be a Riese Remake, because at the time, it was also rumored that Kino Der Toten would feature a part of Kino Der Toten, but that map has released and Kino Der Toten unfortunately isn't a part of the map despite it being set literally just down the street of Kino Der Toten. I'm not exactly sure as to why there isn't a Kino Der Toten cameo on Kino Der Toten. Maybe they had planned on it at one point in time but they ended up cutting it, but considering the fact that the other maps apart from Die Maschine that features a section of Nacht und Toten, the other maps have not had sections of old maps, so I highly doubt DLC 4 is going to be a Riese remake like a lot of us thought at one point in time. Most likely the name Giant is referring to the Forsaken one, the accursed one, the one that is probably going to be the final boss fight in DLC 4. The entire storyline has been leading up to this. As you guys know, the Forsaken is the Elder God that managed to defeat all of the other Elder Gods in the Dark Aether to reign at the top of the ranks, as there is a hierarchy in the Dark Aether, and I'm guessing that is what the name is referring to. to. Alternatively, giant could be referring to the fact that there might be loads of different monstrosities in DLC 4, a bunch of Dark Aether creatures like Order, but we might see some others as well. In the calling cards, there's a bunch of dragons and weird stuff like that, and we do know that the storyline seems to be heading to another great war, similar to the old Aether storyline, as this Dark Aether storyline is following a lot of similar storyline beats to the old storyline, but just happening in different ways. And I think we're about to see the equivalent of the Great War in the old storyline, but this time it's not between the Apothecans and the Keepers, it's between all of the different factions in the Dark Aether. And if the Forsaken does manage to escape from the Dark Aether into our regular world, that is what we could see play out. Samantha even references the Great War in the intel.
You know we're on the brink of war, Elizabeth. A great war.
But yeah, I really do hope that DLC 4 is taking place within the Dark Aether, because I think there's a ton of stuff that they could play around with for gameplay and also storyline. The Dark Aether was the coolest thing that we saw in Die Maschine. We've seen it in Outbreak as well, but on Kino Der Toten and also Firebase C, apart from the free Loot Crate Easter egg, we've not actually entered the Dark Aether since, and I would like to see for the final map us actually enter the Dark Aether fully, and the entire map is set within there. There was a recent Operator skin added for Weaver where he has all of these Dark Aether crystals all over him, and he's wearing a hazmat suit, and it would be cool for our characters to suit up and enter the Dark Aether permanently for the final map to take on the Accursed One. It is unclear as to what we're going to do with the Accursed One though, because we may end up trying to capture him, and because we've been tricked by people like Zykov into trying to capture the Forsaken as opposed to kill it, it might actually give the Forsaken a 1-up, and in us trying to capture him, it might actually give him the opportunity to escape into the regular world. But I really like the position we are currently in for DLC 4, because no one knows exactly where we are heading within this final map for the first time in literally ever. Usually we always have a good idea of the next map and where we are heading, but at this current moment in time we have literally no idea. One possible idea is that we might be heading to some sort of Atlantis map, because it is hinted at within one of the pieces of intel that Atlantis is real and does exist, and we did send the Dark Aether rocket within Operation Inversion within the first Outbreak Easter egg quest into the Pacific Ocean, so that would be the perfect opportunity for us to see an Atlantis map. And you know, the Zombies community has been asking for an Atlantis map since literally World at War, and Trek have hinted at Atlantis so many times. In fact, Shadows of Evil I think was even technically speaking Atlantis. There's various different theory videos on YouTube talking about that, but I think an Atlantis map for DLC 4 would be awesome. I just don't really know if they're actually going to do that, especially if it was a Dark Aether Atlantis map. How cool would that be? Another possible idea is that maybe DLC 4 could take place within Block 8. So with Season 5 we've gotten a piece of intel where the director is interrogating Samantha, and it's basically confirmed now that the Director of Requiem is in fact Eddie, the new incarnation of Richtofen. I made a whole video talking about this a little while ago. Obviously in this interrogation, Eddie does say, "You really are just a pathetic, sad little lost girl," referencing the Origins Easter egg.
You really are just a pathetic, sad, little, lost.
So yeah, this guy is definitely Eddie, and in fact, TZ Ghosted pitched the audio, and he posted this clip over on Twitter, and if you listen carefully, it does sound like Nolan North is voicing the director.
You like him, don't you?
Not in the way you think. We just have history. Shared history. Shared trauma. You wouldn't understand.
I do understand. In fact, I was very forgiving about the whole thing. I mean, Kevin Weaver's failures and lapses in security, I could easily have had him disappeared.
Don't test me.
Maybe I still should.
I'm warning you.
What on earth could you possibly do to me? You really are just a pathetic, sad, little, lost. Oh dear. I suppose we'll have to replace that glass now. But at least we're making progress.
So maybe they have got Nolan North back. He does seem to be doing a bit of an American accent with a slight German accent, because Eddie was American within the house for some weird reason. When Dr. Monty captured the innocent souls, he made them American. I don't really know why. Samantha obviously has a German accent in Cold War because she was raised in Germany, but for all we know, Eddie was raised somewhere else, maybe even in America, and worked his way up the ranks to become the Director of Requiem, the CIA American-backed group. But yeah, DLC 4's storyline is definitely going to be heavily based around the interactions between the director and Samantha, and we're probably going to get Eddie officially revealed as the director, even though it's basically confirmed at this point. Now, in Season 5 Reloaded, we're going to get a bunch of more intel for Cold War Zombies, and Trek are probably going to give us even more hints at where we are heading within DLC 4, but in all honesty, I hope that they don't really give away the exact location. I'm kind of liking this mystery surrounding DLC 4 right now, because for the first time in literally ever, we do not know where we are heading next, and I really like that ambiguity to it. But yeah, maybe Block 8 could be where DLC 4 takes place, because this is this special facility, as the director states, for people designed like Samantha, for people with these dark ether powers.
You're in Block 8, a facility specifically designed to take care of people like you.
So there are multiple people with these dark ether powers that can create portals with their mind, as well as they have telekinetic and telekinesis-like powers. They can also perform telepathy and a bunch of other crazy abilities, kind of like the X-Men. Maybe there's just this big group of people that are kind of seen as outcasts that have these different dark ether abilities, and I would love to see in a future Trek Zombies game where we play as a group of these people with dark ether powers, and each of the different characters could have different powers. Maybe that's going to be a bit too overpowered for gameplay, but they could just replace the field upgrades, so you've got these different superpowers. But yeah, the director has been experimenting on these people with dark ether powers inside of Block 8, and as you guys know, the director is up to no good with something called Project Janus, and we do not know what this is, but it's got to have something to do with Samantha's powers and these other people that he's been experimenting on with dark ether powers. He's using them for some sort of reason, we just don't know what that is, but Janus means the god of gateways and openings and beginnings and endings and crazy stuff like that. So it really does seem like maybe DLC 4 is going to revolve around maybe using Samantha's powers to enter the Dark Ether, open up a portal to the Forsaken, to try and either capture or kill it. But I feel like the director is probably going to be trying to harness the Forsaken's powers. I don't know. I don't think they're going to just try and kill it. I don't think it's going to be as simple as that. That would be a very boring way to end the Cold War Zombie storyline. And I do think that the storyline is probably going to end on a cliffhanger where maybe Samantha becomes bad, or maybe Eddie manages to get dark ether powers. I'm not exactly sure what cliffhanger they're going to leave it on, but then we're going to get the prequel with Vanguard Zombies that's somehow going to tie in with DLC 4. Another possibility for DLC 4 is a potential Moon Zombies map, and this would be crazy. So we have gotten this intel that is teasing Vanguard Zombies set in 1944, and it's from a demonologist called Kraft, and it's about these demonic runes from the Dark Ether, and that's probably going to be one of the main focuses in Vanguard Zombies, this new demonic language that we're going to have to learn about. But the thing is, Kraft is actually the name of a crater on the moon, and in the intel in Cold War Zombies, they've really been heavily hinting at the potential of going to other worlds, and the Dark Ether could be spreading to them as well, and the incursion zones. And also, we do know that in the Dark Ether, you do not need to breathe oxygen, you just breathe in Ethereum. So technically speaking, if we entered the Dark Ether on the moon, we would be able to breathe. There wouldn't be any need for oxygen, or maybe if it was just terraformed by a large Dark Ether crystal, once again, there might not be a need for oxygen. And I think a Dark Ether moon map would be so cool, because we could be exploring all of these different caves and caverns and giant craters on the moon, whilst it has all of these weird Dark Ether creatures roaming about and weird vegetation. A Dark Ether moon map would literally be so cool. But yeah, I don't know if this is something we could see in Vanguard Zombies as opposed to DLC 4. We are just going to have to wait and see though. Oh yeah, and by the way, a lot of people have been talking about a leaked DLC map called Spusk Stali, and I don't know why all of these saying that this is DLC 4. This is a completely fake leak. I made a video on it a while ago. Yes, they did get the name of Kino Der Toten right, but that just means Wall of the Dead in English from German, and I think they just got a lucky guess with the name. But pretty much everything they've leaked is wrong, and the dead giveaway is the fact that they did say that Eddie is Eddie Redpole, a character we already have in the game that we know is dead from the intel. So obviously now we know Eddie is the director, and no, this isn't a change in storyline. Redpole is just a random guy in in the intel. Obviously, it has nothing to do with Eddie. This is a completely fake leak, and I don't know why people are still shilling this leak as being real. There's literally less than a 0.0000001% chance that this is a genuine leak. But according to the leak, it would be called Spusk Stali, which means descent of steel from Russian to English, set in a glacier on the base of a huge snowy mountain, probably a mountain in the Ural Mountains like Mount Yamantau. The map goes all the way from the Russian facility at the top of the mountain to the frozen caverns that run inside it, full of weird ruins and ancient artifacts. It's a completely vertical map. The gimmick is set around portals connecting the different caverns and tunnels, where the player would leap from the top and land into a portal to come out of another portal in an entirely different part of the map, still in early development. Now, that sounds like a really good map description, don't get me wrong, but I just highly doubt this is real. And in terms of DLC 4, a lot of people are saying right now that DLC 4 is most likely going to be based around another campaign mission in Cold War, like Firebase Z and Kino Der Toten are based off of campaign missions, but I don't think so, in all honesty, because this is DLC 4. This is the grand finale to the storyline. This is meant to be more special than the other maps and a bit more unique. I really hope it's not just a basic standard campaign mission level. It's fine for the other maps, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like because it is DLC 4, it's basically meant to be more epic than the others. In Black Ops 1, we went to Moon in the final map, which was obviously way crazier than the others. In Black Ops 2, we went to Origins and we saw a complete reboot with the introduction of Premise. Once again, a completely more epic map than the others. Then in Black Ops 3, we had Revelations in the final map, where we finally went to Agatha, the perfect world, the house, and it was a big mashup of all of the previous maps. And Black Ops 4 is basically an outlier, since we saw Tag Der Toten, the remake of Call of the Dead, as the final map, but I do feel like DLC 4 is going to be a bit more epic than the other ones. Whether that means we could go to the moon again, but bear in mind, if we do go to the moon again, it's going to be very different from the moon we saw previously, because it's probably going to be a Dark Aether map, so I don't think we would see a map like the original moon. It would be completely different. It wouldn't be a remake or even resemble the original at all, and they could play around with some really cool gameplay mechanics in the Dark Aether. And yeah, I think that Atlantis is potentially on the table as a future map, whether it's DLC 4 or in a future game. The fact that Treyarch keep trolling us and referencing Atlantis but not giving us an Atlantis map is honestly really painful. It would be so cool to see an underwater map though. In terms of gameplay, it would be insane, since you'd have a lot of weird floating mechanics. I guess they could do it like we saw in Zombies, where it's just an underwater base, but that would be a bit more boring. I hope that if they do an Atlantis map, it's a proper underwater city that we can explore. But in terms of Operation Janus, maybe the moon is the location of a large Dark Aether breach that Samantha might have to break open with her powers, or vice versa in Atlantis. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think is going to be the location of DLC 4? All in all, I think that it's either the moon, Atlantis, a fully Dark Aether map. I don't think it's going to be a remake of Der Riese anymore. I think that's completely off the table. Or we might see a map set in Block 8, wherever that is. Anyways, just a quick reminder that this video has been kindly sponsored by 1v1me. If you want to participate in Call of Duty wagers, check out the link in this video's description. Thank you for watching the video, and make sure to subscribe if you're around here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.